Okay.
Chair Monzon, go ahead, sir.
Yes, good afternoon to everybody. The Parking Place Commission of South San Francisco will come to order at it's at 5:06.
Okay,
We may can we have a roll call, please?
sure thing. Chair Monzon,
Here.
Vice Chair Malfatti,
Here.
and Commissioner Barca.
Here.
All right, all are accounted for, Chair.
Okay. Is there any agenda changes on the agenda?
Actually, Chair and Commissioners, if I may, I just wanted to introduce to you Christina Cruz. She is our new admin within the Planning Division, here to help us out. And from here, from starting the next meeting, will be the clerk for the Parking Place and Traffic Safety and BPAC. So just wanted to give her like a couple of sentences and then introduce herself. Welcome, Christina.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Hopefully, my name is Christina Cruz. I'm the new admin for the Planning Division, and nice to virtually meet all of you. And if you guys have any questions, just feel free to reach out to me, Chris, Tony, or Adina. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Welcome.
Thank you.
We were waiting for you for a long time.
Sorry, it took so long.
Okay, any changes on the agenda, Christopher?
No, none on staff's end, sir.
Okay. Any public comments?
As of 5 p.m. to date, staff has not received any public comments through voicemail or email to the Planning Division or ECD.
Thank you. Does anybody has any comments about the minutes from February, was
Actually, January. Sir.
January 11? I'm sorry. Is that January 11?
Are there any comments or changes or anything folks would want to see edited?
No.
If none, please make a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of January 11th, 2022 Parking Place Commission meeting.
Do you have a second?
Okay, I will second.
Right.
Do a roll call vote?
Can we
Chair,
do a
or-
roll call
Sure. Chair Monzon,
here?
or to approve the meeting minutes? Yes.
Approve, yes,
Yep.
yes.
Vice Chair Malfatti
Yes.
and Commissioner Barca.
Yes.
Thank you. Minutes are approved.
Administrative business.
Sure. I'll take it over, sir. In an email you sent in February, you asked for some updates from staff regarding parking meter and the garage revenue report. I wanted to share with you, hopefully you can still see this. Sorry, my notes are incomplete there. But wanted to zoom in and then show you the revenue that basically all of South San Francisco and its parking meters, and including the garage. Like, again, we were not able to specifically isolate the garage related revenue, so we're looking at it as a lump sum. And contrary to what we were seeing from the earlier parts of the year, I think we were at hovering around 59 to 60,000 in transactions and revenues on both coins and credit cards. But that took a dip around January and February to about 49 to about 52,000 in February. It's the same breakdown in between cash and credit card transactions, except for in January, there was a lot more cash transactions. We're speculating, but that could be related to the kind of the harsh, like 3 weeks of winter weather, and there's just a lot less folks moving around about, and it's just the winter surge in COVID. So we're seeing just that, basically a reduction in coin and credit card revenues on all of our meters in the city. So I'll take any questions on that one and we'll answer as best as we could.
I want to acknowledge the visit of our city manager, Mike Futrell. Welcome. Thank you for making time.
And then the other item, Chair, that you had asked for an update on was the parking district fund. So what I was educated on was that the figures we were showing you previously was actually expenditures of the that we're allowed to make, or the city is allowed to make on the parking district fund. And that is, as you can see here, mostly related to operations of the parking district, including our parking control officers. And then there are some, different projects that, like I think we discussed before, that is being funded through the parking district. However, that is not an accounting of what exactly is the amount that is in the parking district. Our finance folks just sent this to us that they were not able to pull that information in time. They were able to give me a lump sum figure of about, I think, 3 million in the parking district fund as of or currently. So that's the current state of that, the parking district fund. And then again, the parking revenue is all revenue that then goes into the parking district fund.
So now we have a fund only for the parking place, is not going to the general fund?
No, sir. It's never gone to the general fund. Like parking district is its own bucket of funds. If I'm, I see Tony nodding his head. So yeah, so I'm on the right track. So it's never a general fund thing. It says parking district fund has always been its own bucket. So, and whatever projects, whatever the operations of the parking district come out of that fund and not the general fund.
Okay. Any questions, comments, Jolene, Dana?
Can we get it a little bit bigger?
Sure. Yeah, this is the expenditure. So we're seeing, this is
Even with my glasses, it's a little bit.
even for me, this is a little.
Is that something that you can email to us so we can take a closer look after?
Thank you.
Sure. I'll check internally. I believe it's something we can share. It is a public meeting and we are discussing it here. So we'll include it as part of our meeting minutes, like kind of how we deal with all of the other revenue reports, and we'll add it onto there. So it doesn't come in as a separate email.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for all the work, Christopher, and try to get that information. I think that the goal is that to have our revenue growing, like our checking accounts or saving accounts. That way, when we have any projects like the second garage building, we have some, we have something to put into it, right? I think I've been here for many years, and I didn't realize that the balance was very low, because pre-COVID, we were average over 100,000 a month. So that's over $1 million a year, right? So I just want to be conscious of that. We would like that we keep a close eye to that. We got to be fair with our budget, and so when we do any increments, we got to reflect our how we administrate our income. That makes sense.
Sure. Yep. Okay. Any other comments on this item? Or shall we move on, Chair?
Yes, please. Let's
Okay.
move on to the second.
So, okay, update on non-revenue use of meters. Again, Chair, you asked for an update on specifically the parklets or our current outdoor dining program. And as similar to our update to you, staff has been hard at work. I know Dave Bachhaus is out there lurking somewhere in the Zoom. So many thanks to him and his staff for kind of helping us enforce what our expectations. And there we go, Dave's back. So thank you, Dave, and code enforcement and staff for kind of helping us set our, remind our participating business of our expectations. And since the winter time, or basically in the last 2 months, we have effectively removed 4 locations, including the Brews at 382, Cafe 382, Hinglung on 331 Grand. That was a notorious one because they were terrible at that. I know the city manager hated that one too, but he won't admit it openly. but they were kind enough to, we told them we're done with it. There's maintenance issues that were popping up, especially during the rain. And they complied. So that's been removed. The lone installation we have over at 301 Baden for Entrepanes, they were just not making any money with having that. So they opted out and removed their platform. So right now, as far as outdoor dining spaces that we have up is still at 301 Linden, which is on Diamo, for 359 Grand, which is Grand Palace, the 265 Grand at Taisate, 437 Grand in Antigua, 226 Grand at Cafe Banh Mi, and 713 Linden, Amora. So those, with the exception of Grand Palace, those maybe 3 out of those 4 will elect to stay once we move to a paid permit program, because it is something that they are currently using. They're maintaining those spaces, and they have expressed to us that it is a big help to their business. So staff is currently working as hard as we can on producing we're not calling it parklet, because parklet suggests that it's free for everyone to use. But if we're making the businesses responsible for it and for making sure that we are reimbursed for the parking meter revenue that they're using, then we shouldn't be calling it a parklet, because otherwise that's basically a free program. I know we have a name for it, but we won't share that yet. But we're working on our standards and our guidelines to workshop to the Park and Place Commission and to Planning Commission in the next couple of months, basically. But our current direction from city manager, from city council, is that as long as they're using these spaces, especially because we are still in this recovery mode, that we're okay with them remaining as long as they are using it. So that's the one that we are very in tune with Dave and Public Works and Enforcement to make sure they are used.
When that happens, that revenue, is that going to go to the same parking place commission budget? And second question, in the scenario on Linden 700, there is no parking meter there. They're going to pay a fee.
Mhm.
Okay.
Similar to how the way staff is envisioning this is that the same way that we charge developments and construction crews to reimburse us for the parking meters that they occupy, these businesses that elect to have these structures on street, we'd pay the similar type of fee structure. So yeah, so regardless of whether there is a parking meter or no parking meter, they'll pay a fee for it. Yeah. Other questions?
Just to clarify, when you say like in the construction sites, they're using the parking meters. So that fee goes to the parking place commission budget or goes to a different place?
To the chair. I'll try and answer that for the group. Fees related to permit revenue collected goes to the parking district fund, distinct from parking place. Parking place commission does not have a budget, but the parking district has a budget. It gets appropriated as at the direction of city council. Fees that we collect for, say, temporary construction permit parking, we've seen it on some of the areas of downtown over the last several years. They're typically negotiated as part of an encroachment permit. And those fees, I need to double check with engineering how they're collected and distributed. That's something we can do as a follow-up item for you, Chair and Vice Chair and Commissioner.
Thank you, Tony.
Okay, any other questions on the item 3 on the agenda? No?
No.
Okay. All right.
Well, I wanna okay. So no questions, Dana?
No, not from me.
So we
Any?
can move to any items from the commission.
Mhm. City Manager Mike Futrell has raised his hand.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
I'm not a member of the commission, but I did want to find an opportunity to say hello and a couple of things. First, thank you for serving on the commission. I greatly appreciate you taking the time to do this, and it's worthwhile. And thank you for working so well with staff. We review items and how it's going regularly, and I just appreciate the collaboration that we all have. One thing I wanted to raise, and talking with Chris and others, is coming to the commission at the next meeting and doing a deep dive on the need for a new parking garage in the downtown. We've been discussing a new parking garage downtown for 5 or 6 years. We did an initial study. We've done a lot of work with City Council on that. And then came COVID-19. I am looking for some wood to knock on that we are coming out of COVID-19 for good. And I'd like to re-engage discussion of a new parking garage in the downtown. I would love to be able to invent some new on-street parking or even some new surface parking. I just don't see that as possible. And a parking garage would be our next best alternative as a means to alleviate some of the parking struggles in the downtown area. So just stay tuned. work with staff and ask to put that on your agenda for the next meeting on the work we've done to date, what it looks like, what we've shown to council, and the direction we've been given. And I would greatly appreciate your comments and engagement as we look to improve, not just improve parking, but increase the number of parking spaces in the downtown. So thank you again for your work on this commission. I think maybe with COVID getting behind us, we'll get certainly more active, and I appreciate you being a part of that. So thanks again.
Thank you,
Thank
City
you.
Manager. I have a comment, please. Just an idea. Mr. McFutrail, would you consider express suggestion to the City Council to have a parking spaces on Grand Avenue on a underneath, like create a underneath parking throughout? I've been doing some reading that some cities that since they run out of spaces, they use the major, providing the
Sure.
size of the street allows, they're just using the existing road, just excavate one floor or two, whatever is permitted, and you have it right there, and you can
Sure.
still use the upstairs. Just a suggestion.
Actually, we did a study recently, maybe 2 years ago, on the hill that City Hall sits on. Could we dig out the hill and put parking underneath there? So we have some information about the cost of excavation and what that might look like. So yes, we'll incorporate what we know into that and have that discussion next go around. I will mention as an aside, completely unrelated, the testing site. You may know we're doing a COVID-19 testing site every day at 616 Linden, and that's normally a parking lot. That testing site will end on March 31st. And so after that, that parking lot will again be available to the public for parking. So that's just an FYI. But yes, Chair Monzon, we will incorporate that idea into next month's or whenever the next meeting is presentation.
Actually,
Thank you.
sorry.
No, go ahead,
If I
please.
can say, the testing site on the Linden Avenue is very useful. I know that my family used it a couple times, at least 5 or 6 times. We went there. It's mean that thank you very much because it's really convenient. I like it. It's like a easy get in, get out in the 3 minutes. It's like a really nice. I really like it. It's too bad that will finish.
Well, I will pass that on to the people working there every day. I know they want to hear it. And I've used it as well. I know how easy it is. They're pretty quick with getting your results back. It's free. But we're only doing 15 or 20 people a day. And, again, assuming things continue to improve, by the end of March, yeah, it's probably not worth the money or time or parking spaces. But thank you for that compliment.
Yeah. You're welcome. I like it.
And also, I was going to suggest to Christopher and Tony and Adina, if possible, can we add an action item on our agenda? That way we can have a follow-up or certain things that we can, scratch it from our to-do list. Is that possible? Can you look into it?
Yeah, sure, we can look into it, but when we sorry, I'm in like legal Brown Act kind of like mode. So when you say there's an action, means it's something that the Parking Place Commission is going to act on?
No, what I mean is, like, for example, if we are working on something as a group, as a commission, and if we already achieve it, we can put it on that. It's kind of like if we are to check it out. The way we move on, we don't come back to the same item.
Sure. I mean, we can summarize like all of the things that we, bring into your.
Discuss it, yeah.
Right.
Because I don't want to be repeating, that way we go like through a list of 10 things and we know that number 4 is solved or we have a plan or we're waiting for something, but it's not on the high priority for the next meeting. Right?
Sure. All right.
So it sounds maybe like an action item list or some sort of standing item that is reviewing actions for the year or that have been identified by the commission. Is that the thought, Chair?
Whoever, any if either coming from the commissioners or from the CDS staff, any things that we have that we're working on,
Okay. Well, let me get together with Chris and figure out how we can use the existing template of the agenda to slot in an item that captures to-dos. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Well, I want to thank for hiring Christina. That's awesome. We look forward for her help. I know you guys are overworking, and thank you for being patient with all our questions. We just want to have a common goal that we want the best for the community, for our city, and as far as parking place commission duties goes. All right, so if there is no other comments, we'll adjourn the meeting. Okay. It's 5:33.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
All right,
Thank
thanks.
you, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Commission.